Hey everyone, welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about the finish process for tooled leather. So there's several different products we're going to use, but I have a few different samples here that we're going to work through all the way. We're going to do a variety of things in this series. We're going to do painted backgrounds on one, some dyed backgrounds, natural backgrounds with an antique. We'll antique all of them at the end, do different dyed borders, dyed backgrounds, and that sort of thing. But regardless of what we're doing, the number one step that I do is to oil them. So I use a neat's foot oil. You can use lots of different oils. I know people that use olive oil. Works really good. Pure oil, compound oil, all the things. But this is just what I have here. It's Phoebe's neat's foot oil, and that's what we're going to use today. What I use for an applicator is just a little scrap of sheepskin. It's just a small piece. Obviously, you can tell I reuse that. It's kind of coated in it. But a real simple process here. And I just put it in there. We'll get some oil dabbed on there and run it right across here. You can see it get really dark right away, and that's normal. Don't panic when you do that. You've not ruined your project. That oil just needs to soak in. So we're gonna work our way through, and that's it for oil. It's just that one coat. Super easy. We're gonna run through some more of these samples here, and these are all just the belt samples that we've been tooling up in our tooling series, both on Facebook and on YouTube. There's a link to the website if you're interested in those patterns. But there's also a link to Weaver Leather Supply. If you follow that link, you can save 10% if you're wanting any of the finished products that we're using are all going to be available there as well. So I wanted to put those in there for your convenience. But we're going to just finish oiling these products up, and you can see they're already starting to soak that in pretty well too. So we'll check with it. Okay, get that coated in there really well. Again, just a nice even coat. A little heavy coat isn't going to hurt anything. It's just going to take a little bit longer to soak in is all. But you can already see, like this one that had just got done versus that one from earlier, it soaks in pretty quick. But we're going to give that time. How long do I need to let that sit before I do anything? I'm going to want that to return to a drier looking color. It's gonna take up a little bit of a darker color, just that it's oiled, as opposed to like this belt here that's still natural. We haven't oiled that yet at all, but it's not going to come all the way back to that natural. It's going to be a little bit darker, but you'll definitely be able to tell it is dry. So I would say we're going to let that sit at least an hour is a good roundabout there. I rarely time it, but I also don't necessarily let things sit, a full 24 hours or anything like that. Generally, my practice is when I'm working with belts and stuff, I will get a project tooled up and at the end of the day, be able to oil that. I come back in the morning, go to do my dye work, or I will finish it up first thing in the morning, go in, eat some breakfast, come back out, can go to dyeing, or finish it up before lunch. Again, go in, eat some lunch, come back out, and it's ready. So I would say about an hour you'd be ready to dye that. But and you'll notice we did it on all these pieces. So I oil everything I do prior to doing my dye work, my paint work, and all that. A big question I get is, well, does the paint stick as well when you oil it? I've had no problems with that. The one thing I do find that's a benefit is my dye seems to take more evenly once it's been oiled. And I think that oil gets in and and kind of evens out your moisture along your whole belt or your project, no matter what it is. These are just happen to be belt samples, but your hides are going to have different dry spots here and there, and that oil is going to go in, even out, and get that. It's just like putting lotion on, you know, it gets everything moisturized to where now when we go to dye that, our dye's not going to really suck into dry spots or hang on top of you know, spots that are not as dry. So this is going to get a nice even coat and really let our dye take in there really nice. So this video here, part 1, is pretty dang short because this step, super simple, super easy. All the steps that we're going to do with this finished process are simple and easy. It's just a matter of kind of getting the right products, getting them in order, and there is lots of different products out there and even more opinions. So I'm not saying this is the only way. You may even not think it's the right way, but this is the way that I do it, and that has worked for me. You know, we're going to be able to do dyed backgrounds and borders and an antique finish and come out with a result similar to this. So we'll continue working through the process here. Stay tuned to watch more videos as we move along through this process. So any questions, be sure and shoot those out to me. Love to get back to you on any answers that I can, both here on Facebook or if you're watching the replay on YouTube. So thanks a lot. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video.